it bothers you if myself, staff and players don't come over and minimum clap, then I promise you it would bother me as well. All right, and there is in some ways there's nothing worse than coming over after not a great result and performance. But only when I say worse, because we want to do well for you. But it was something that will, certainly while I'm here, will always be the case, because because we appreciate what you do, and I'm often talking about the supporters, and and it's authentic. So if that's something that means a lot to supporters, I promise you it means a lot to myself and the players as well. And I'd like to think that however good or bad results are at times, that will always be the case, that we're together on showing our gratitude back to you. Away. I mean, all the support's amazing, but the away support is. I went to Preston on Saturday after we got back from Bournemouth, and they played Reading, and I looked at where the away fans were for Reading, and I thought our guys are just gonna. And they actually put you on the other side to where Reading were of that stand, because obviously we took a few more than them. So and I think it helps, because the away support has been so noisy sometimes in these stands, these stadiums that don't get full like ours, where it can make a real, sometimes embarrass the home support, can't it? So but our job is to try and play well, So no, we've got to keep working together on that one, definitely. Pride more than anything, I think, just to be part of something bigger than any individual. It's I knew about it because I came to a game. Well, I've been there a few times over the years, but I came to a game this season before I joined, because I never came here with Swansea, because it was the two games we played were in lockdown, so they were empty stadiums. So I think it's unique. I think it takes your breath away. And it's important. I think it's a really important. I mean, the home games, I think, are a real event. I think it's a real coming together of a city and a community, and it makes you feel. And I'm an outsider. I'm only new in, but it makes you feel part of something bigger than a football match and sometimes a football club. You feel part of a city and a part of the country. So pride, probably, just to be part of something like that. And my family sit at the game. They sit behind me. My son's here tonight, and I know how they feel. So when I think of families who've been coming here forever, special. Attitude. I think selflessness. So you're always thinking of the team. Of course, we're lucky that if you get to our level, that you have talent. But I think you have to have more than talent to stay. And I think if we think about our club, is it Alf? Is it Alfie? Alfie, if you think about our club, Alfie, question before about us being a strong connection and really together, I think you've got to show that passion to make everybody proud and happy. So, and also listen to the manager. That's important as well. Listen, we want to win every single game, right? And honestly, there's nobody that will be more joyous than me when we win, and it won't hurt anybody more than when we don't. I didn't sleep on Tuesday night. So, and we didn't even lose. But we didn't play well. But what I would say about that, and I said it in the media today, was I reflected on the next day. It's not a bad sign the lads came in really disappointed. Some of them knew they're better players than what they showed on the night. We knew we were a better team. We caught them on a good day, to be fair. I'd seen them on Saturday at Red. Anyway, that's that. But we're trying to play in a way and to behave in a way and to work in a way that gets us ready to win the next game. But we're also doing that while building a philosophy of play, a philosophy of work that we think could help us a bit longer than that as well. So there's loads of things going on behind the scenes. So there's nothing stopping us here from doing a good job, nothing. But there's always things you can improve on. So things like we've changed the meeting room at the training ground, because I'm a big believer in meetings. It's part of the modern game. We've got a very good performance analysis team. We want to improve the training pitches. We want to start using data more and things like that. So all of these things set up for high performance over a longer period of time. I just want my bloody ear to see it through. But so short term, every single game, whatever it takes to win, we'll try and do it in our way. And that was the thing about the other night. I don't want to talk about the other night too much. I've said it twice already, but it wasn't just the result; it's how we played. Sometimes when we play well, when we win and don't play well, it still bothers me. Because I'm a believer that you have a way of playing, and when you play well, you'll win enough games over the course of the season. I don't want to be like one week we're doing this and the next week we're doing that, and he's had a bad game, so he has to be dropped, and he's had a good game and now he's the best player. No, consistency, working our way every single day. And that's what we're trying to do. But that's with everything, the staff we got around the team, obviously recruitment, we've made a couple of changes of players coming in January. Important to sign some permanent players because we want to build a team that can stay with us for a number of years and keep growing and growing and growing. And someone's going to be really important for that as well. So to answer your question, I feel the same as you. Every day, what can we do? What can we do? But if we don't, and I hate to say that, but if we don't, then it can't be like what we're doing now. It's got to be, well, we continue to build, and that's why I think this club can be really, really good. I went to London last week to meet Mr. Marinakis. All he wants to do is support us. All he wants to do. How can I help? What can we do? So. Yeah, and it's not, obviously the obvious thing is to say is like, we want this player, we want that player. And of course I'm saying that, but I'm also saying, I think if we improve the training pitches, this is going to help how we play football. If we change the meeting room like you've done, now the players can learn a bit easier. If we can improve this in the medical room, if we can improve the gym, because I think that's all part of high performance, and that's what we are, a high performance centre. So yeah, lot of planning going on behind the scenes. I met him a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Robbo. Yeah, so I was lucky really that the lot of the Miracle Men get together on a Thursday afternoon in West Bridgeford, and we try. Myself, Alan Tate, and Stephen Reed. We try and go. We can't get there all the time, obviously, because Thursdays are busy days for us. But when we can, we go and meet them. So we'll always try and do that. Connect to the past. It's important, And so John Robertson, mate. And I knew that anyway before I came here. It was one of my dad's favourite player, and lots of stories about him. And when you watch the videos and you hear the other players talk about how good he was, yeah, and a lovely, lovely guy as well. How I want the team to be is like the Leicester game, first half. That is how we train every day. That is our intention. That is our ambition. That is our way of playing. And I promise you, how I'm asking the boys to play is hard. It's a hard way of playing football, but it's a way of playing that I've studied for a long time now, and I believe it can be a successful way. And I saw more signs and more evidence of it in that game than any other game, and it's given me a great reference point to say to the players, this is how we play. So at times we get bits of it, and other times we don't, and we get to see it all in a game. So I know that's an obvious thing to say because of the result, but the performance was something that I thought, like the first half performance was, this is where I want us to be every single week. And that's what we're building, talking about transfer windows and growing young players and all that sort of stuff, and the energy levels and confidence and all that sort of stuff. So great result as well, wasn't it? Yeah, I think. Well, I hope so, because we often talk about it, and I mean, I'm forever speaking to Joe Worrell, Yatesy, Brennan. I mean, you can't shut Joe up, can you? So, like, when you ask him, but because I learn off them about the club and and the fans and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, I can only say yes because like I have a lot of conversations with players, do a lot of one-to-ones. Like for example, I did have a very good relationship with Phil Zinkernagel, and was talking to him last week, and he just talked about how he loves playing at home. And we were talking about football and can you do this, can you do that, and whatever. And we get chatting. He's a very intelligent guy, Phil, but sort of well educated and understands the game. He just loves playing at home. So he loves playing at home, And it's important that because what we were talking about before is these guys have got to look forward to playing here because it is big, it is daunting, and even my first game we bottom of the league and it's 25,000 there. I'm like, all right, okay, this is a proper job, So, and you've got to be able to handle that. And certainly the players, and if we're not playing so well, and like Stoke, for example, we didn't get going. I know that it was a hard week, but they're the moments they're the moments where the players have really got to show the grit and the determination. And that's where we obviously need you guys as well. And to answer your question, I really, really hope so. I really, really hope so. Well, I'd love to say yes, and it's definitely something we're going to do. It's ironic. Actually, I had a conversation today about when we sign players, we test physically. You get loads of data now on a player. It's part. You even watch a game on Sky and all these stats come up, but we don't have data on mentality, on character, on personality, and all that sort of stuff. So we're actually working with someone now to try and put that in place. And if we do, I think it'd be a step forward, to add in just to trying to sign the right players, especially here, because of what we talked about. Sometimes you can just assume that a player can handle playing for Forest, but listen, it'll always be a bit of a guess because there's not perfect science, but I agree with your point. We should be assessing players' mentality and character, and that's why I thought it was important to sign Steve Cook, because we've done a lot of due diligence on his, not just him as a player, but him as a leader. I do want a good balance between. We've done a lot of work on teams that have been successful in the Championship, what the age range has been, and you definitely need young players in your team, definitely, but you definitely need some experienced players as well, and a bit in between. And I felt that Cookie was an important part of that, so. And we try to do one or two other things as well on a similar, because we've got, Brennan's 20, Jed's 20, Alex, and you look at Joe and Scott, they're only 24, Yatesy, so they're not like as well as they do and as strong as characters as they are, they're still not 28, 29, where they really become, they're established now, but senior. So character and personality is really, really important for a successful team. But I definitely think playing in every week, It's easy to go like, okay, by the international break in March, we want to be in this position or this many points. But I've learned, even in my 2 years before here, that you get there, but you don't know quite how you're going to get there. So, of course, the obvious thing to answer that is we want to be in the Premier League, but everyone in the Championship wants to be in the Premier League. I often say it publicly, that's the best thing about the Championship is there's a league above it. And I'm also a big believer, although I have to be careful about saying this too much because it gets boring, about like one game at a time. And because I always think that's what you're in control of, is just the next game. It's the only thing you can determine. So I ain't coming to be 10th. I didn't even when I come in the whatever month was September, was it? So until we get to where we want to get to, this season, great. If not, we'll get over it quickly and go again.